Hello, everybody. It's John Johnston, Coronation, for a quick Nebraska Colorado preview. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there, probably more research than this one, but I'll tell you what, right away, there's only game comes down to two simple things for Nebraska. Don't turn the ball over, limit explosive plays. That's it. That's the game. I think we've seen Nebraska in past years have a horrible, horrible problem with turnovers. We ended up with a positive margin against UTEP. That's a good thing. We need to do the same against Colorado, or at least have it be even. Now, last week against North Dakota State, Colorado had plays of one play of 60 plus yards, one play of 50 plus, four plays of 40 yards. 5 plays of 30 plus yards, 7 plays of 20 plus yards, and 10 plays of 17 plus yards. That's a lot of explosive plays. I don't know where Colorado is ranked in explosive play offense for the season yet. And let's face it, a lot of the games last week in week one were pretty, body bag type games, 76-0. You don't learn a lot from those games. But what I'd like to see from Nebraska in this game is to come out and run the ball. A heavy run game right away to establish the run. There's a few reasons for this. Number one, you saw Colorado's defense against North Dakota State. It wasn't exactly stellar, although they did close down in the second half. And they kept North Dakota State's scoring in the second half to a minimum. Otherwise, they wouldn't have won that game. I think we can begin the game by beating up Colorado. I think there's a psychological effect to going after a defense right away and basically showing them that you're just going to kick their ass and running the ball right at them. I don't know if we have an I formation in our package, but if they want to line up in the I, put a guy in at fullback and run 23 straight ISO plays, they all gain 6 yards. I'm pretty sure we're going to beat the hell out of Colorado. The other reason you want to run the ball is to keep their offense off the field. I know we're kind of probably feeling good about UTEP and how good the team looked, but this is still a team that has a lot to prove for the season. And going out and establishing the run, establishing physicality, and keeping Colorado's offense off the field. I mean, if you can't get your offense on the field, you're not going to score. And I don't think we should be too afraid of Colorado's defense scoring unless we're just flat out giving them the ball like we did last year, which is why that's hard to say. You want to say, yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. Well, okay, prove it. So for Nebraska on offense, run the ball a lot early, especially. And I think the problem that Nebraska is going to have is this. If you were Marcus Satterfield, right, you got this season a whole bunch of shiny new toys. And whenever somebody gets shiny new toys, they automatically want to play with them. And the shiny new toys I'm talking about are, Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nayor. Those are pretty shiny, cool new toys. You still got Thomas Fedoni who has all the makings of a playmaker, an explosive playmaker guy. Jalen Lloyd, that's another shiny toy. Maybe not brand new, but it is in this offense. And I think those should be used judiciously. Now, Nebraska on defense, I think all the Nebraska fans out there probably lick their chops at the idea of running Shedeur Sanders around and squashing him into the ground as many times as possible. Certainly I do. And I think you're probably looking at the idea that Ty Robinson and the Nut Masher are going to squash him into the ground. And I think that would be the wrong approach for this defense. I think when you're looking at Nebraska on defense, you want to have Ty and the Nut Masher just basically hold their ground and occupy space and blockers. Ideally, I mean, those guys, they're athletic, they're pretty good, they're pretty big. I don't think you have too much to fear from Colorado's offensive line. In other words, they're not going to really be able to run the ball very well. But if Ty and the Nut Masher can occupy, in a perfect world, they'd occupy 2 guys apiece. In other words, 2 guys would take up 4 blockers, and you can easily do the math on that. That would free up linebackers or whatever fast guys we have to go after Shedeur Sanders when he's running around the backfield. And by the sake of not allowing him to get into plays and not allowing him to successfully extend plays, then you're going to ruin chances for Colorado's explosive plays, because they do have, Jimmy Horn, Travis Hunter. I'm missing the third guy's name, but they do have some very good offensive skill players, and you're going to have to do something to limit that. I don't think this game's going to come down to special teams. Although, God knows what the game will be like Saturday night. That's another factor, is that it is a Saturday night game in Lincoln, Nebraska. And by God, it's going to be fun. I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there? Let me know in the comments. I'll be running around the Haymarket area Friday night. Kincaiders will be at Kincaiders at 7:30, I think, the Coronation crew. And then there's tailgates, things like that. It'll be a blast. And it's going to be an unbelievable weekend, but Nebraska needs to win. Okay, special teams, just keep punting the way you punted in the first game, Brian Buschini. Tristan Alvano, just keep making extra points, because I don't see us going for field goals. I don't think field goals are going to be a big factor in this game. And after I've said all this stuff about this game, mostly off the cuff, I think that it's probably going to jinx everything, and it's going to be a 3-point game and probably give us all heart attacks, which I don't need another one. Okay, that's my bit about Colorado, Nebraska, and we'll see what happens this Saturday night. It's going to be a blast. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for listening. And you know what? Thank you guys for the support that you've given us over the years. Go Big Red.